"Don't go there," he said. But she didn't listen. Her end was unexpected. Captain Marcus Vale checked his instruments for the third time as the sleek diplomatic vessel Aurora's Dream approached the crystalline moon of Zephyr Prime. His passenger had been nothing but trouble since they departed Earth Station Alpha 3 days ago. "How much longer until we arrive?" Lady Seraphina Corvus asked, her luminescent blue skin shimmering with impatience under the ship's ambient lighting. Her platinum hair cascaded in perfect waves as she leaned over his pilot's chair, the scent of cosmic jasmine filling the small cockpit. "Still 4 hours," Marcus replied through gritted teeth, his broad shoulders tense beneath his fitted black uniform. "Same as when you asked 10 minutes ago," Seraphina huffed, her coral lips forming an elegant pout. "This transport is positively archaic. My mother's personal yacht could complete this journey in half the time." "Then you should have taken Mommy's yacht," Marcus muttered under his breath, focusing intently on the navigation display. "Excuse me?" Her violet eyes flashed dangerously. "Nothing, your ladyship." He straightened, his military training overriding his irritation. "Perhaps you'd be more comfortable in the passenger quarters. The entertainment system has been recently updated." Seraphina laughed, a sound like silver bells that somehow managed to be both beautiful and condescending. "I've exhausted your primitive collection of Terran media. Your species has such limited artistic vision." Marcus bit back his response. 2 more days of this assignment, then back to real military work, patrolling the outer rim. He had survived the vacuum of space for 90 seconds during the Battle of Titan's Gate. He could survive one spoiled alien, diplomat's daughter. An alarm suddenly pierced the cockpit's calm, red warning lights bathing everything in crimson. Marcus's training kicked in instantly, his hands flying across the control panels. "What's happening?" Seraphina demanded, her arrogance replaced by genuine concern. "Engine malfunction," Marcus replied, his voice steady despite the chaos erupting. "Around them. We're losing power to the main drives. We need to make an emergency landing." "On that?" Seraphina pointed to the view screen, showing Zephyr Prime's surface. A world of shimmering crystal formations and deadly electromagnetic storms. "Better than drifting in space," Marcus engaged the emergency protocols, the ship shuddering violently as they entered the moon's thin atmosphere. "Strap in, now!" For once, Seraphina didn't argue. She slid into the co-pilot's seat, securing the safety harness as Marcus fought to control their descent. The ship groaned in protest, external temperature readings climbing dangerously. "We're coming in hot," Marcus announced, his strong hands steady on the controls despite the turbulence. "Brace for impact." The transport skidded across the crystalline surface, sending up cascades of sparkling debris. Metal shrieked against crystal as the ship finally came to rest against a formation of towering amethyst spires. Marcus ran a quick systems check. Life support intact, hull integrity at 70%, communications damaged but repairable. He unbuckled his harness and stood. Could have been worse. Seraphina unstrapped herself, smoothing down her silver tunic. "So we're stranded?" "Temporarily," Marcus corrected, retrieving an emergency kit from beneath the console. "The capital city isn't far. Maybe a day's journey on foot. I can repair the beacon, but rescue might take time." He pulled out 2 environmental suits, tossing one to Seraphina. "Put this on. Zephyr Prime may look beautiful, but those crystal formations emit electromagnetic pulses that can disrupt neural pathways. These suits will protect you." Seraphina caught the suit, but immediately wrinkled her nose. "This is hideous, and it smells like human perspiration." "It's clean," Marcus assured her, already pulling his own suit over his uniform, "and it will keep your brain from being fried by EM radiation." Seraphina tossed the suit aside with a dismissive gesture. "I'm not wearing that monstrosity. My skin is sensitive to synthetic fabrics. Besides, we're just assessing damage, correct?" Marcus sighed, running a hand through his dark hair. "Your funeral, princess. Don't say I didn't warn you." "I'll only be a moment," Serafina announced, moving toward the ship's exit hatch with fluid grace. "I want to feel natural sunlight on my skin after days trapped in this metal coffin." Marcus watched with growing exasperation as she approached the airlock. Her form-fitting silver outfit accentuated her alien beauty in ways that were hard to ignore, but her stubbornness was quickly overshadowing any attraction he might have felt. "Last chance," he warned, holding up the protective suit. "Those crystal formations aren't just decorative. They're evolutionary defense mechanisms that have killed survey teams before." Serafina rolled her eyes, her luminescent skin glowing brighter with irritation. "My species evolved on a world far more dangerous than this crystalline paradise. We have natural resistance to most forms of radiation." "Your funeral," Marcus muttered, sealing his helmet. The hatch opened with a soft hiss, releasing a wave of crisp, ozone-scented air. Serafina stepped out confidently, her platinum hair catching the light of Zephyr Prime's violet sun. Marcus followed closely, his eyes constantly scanning their surroundings through his helmet's protective visor. The ship had carved a deep furrow through the crystal field, coming to rest in a small clearing surrounded by towering formations of pure quartz and amethyst. Their faceted surfaces pulsed with internal light, creating a breathtaking but ominous display. "See," Serafina gestured around them, her voice filled with wonder. "Perfectly safe. You humans are so—" Her words were cut off by a piercing shriek, as she stumbled backward into a cluster of resonance crystals. The formations immediately began to pulse in harmony, emitting waves of electromagnetic energy that coursed through her unprotected body. "Don't move," Marcus commanded, rushing to her side. "Any movement amplifies the resonance field." Tears welled in Serafina's violet eyes as she froze in place, her luminescent skin flickering erratically. "It burns like fire in my veins. Please make it stop." Marcus carefully guided her away from the crystals, supporting her weight as her legs began to tremble. "I warned you," he said, though his voice carried more concern than reproach. "Let's get you back inside." Once aboard the ship, he helped her onto the medical cot in the small infirmary. "I need to run a bioscan immediately. The electromagnetic fields can cause cellular disruption in non-adapted species." "Just do it," she gasped through clenched teeth, her usual haughtiness replaced by genuine fear. Marcus retrieved the medical scanner, his trained hands moving efficiently over the controls. The readings made his heart sink. "The EM exposure has triggered a cascade reaction in your neural pathways. It's affecting your body's electromagnetic field." "What does that mean?" she whispered, her skin now flickering between its normal blue luminescence and an alarming silver pallor. "For your species, it means your bioelectric systems are going haywire," Marcus explained, preparing a neural stabilizer injection. "Corvanian physiology relies on precise electromagnetic balance. The crystal resonance has disrupted that balance." He administered the injection, watching with growing concern as her vital signs fluctuated wildly on the medical display. "This should help, but you need specialized treatment. The nearest medical facility with Corvanian biotech is in the capital city." Serafina's eyes fluttered closed as the medication began to take effect. "I feel strange, hot and cold simultaneously. And there's something else." She looked up at him with an expression he'd never seen before, vulnerability mixed with something deeper. "I can sense your emotions, your concern for me. Is that normal?" Marcus frowned, checking the scanner readings. Again, electromagnetic disruption can sometimes enhance telepathic abilities in sensitive species. "How much can you sense?" "Everything," she whispered, her hand reaching weakly for his. "Your guilt about your fallen comrades, your loneliness, your attraction to me, despite how terribly I've behaved." Their eyes met, and Marcus felt something shift between them, a connection deeper than words. The medical scanner's soft beeping filled the quiet infirmary as Marcus monitored Serafina's condition. Her bioelectric patterns had stabilized, but the neural-enhancing effects of the electromagnetic exposure were intensifying rather than diminishing. "Your emotions are so vivid," Serafina murmured, her violet eyes studying his face with newfound wonder. "Humans feel everything so intensely. In Corvanian culture, we're taught to suppress such turbulent sensations." Marcus felt heat rise to his cheeks, knowing she could sense his conflicted feelings. "The telepathic enhancement should fade as your system recovers." "Should I want it to?" she asked softly, her luminescent skin pulsing gently in the dim light. "For the first time, I understand what it means to truly connect with another being. Your memories, your pain over losing your squad. I feel it as if it were my own." Marcus turned away, checking the ship's external sensors to mask his discomfort. "We should focus on getting you proper medical attention. The capital city is our best option, but it means crossing 20 kilometers of crystal fields on foot, Marcus." The way she said his name, without title or formality, made him look back. "I owe you an apology. I've been insufferably arrogant, treating you like a mere servant when you're clearly a man of honor and courage." He moved closer, drawn by the sincerity in her voice. "You've had your world turned upside down. Fear makes people act differently." Serafina struggled to sit up, her enhanced empathic abilities making her wince as she felt his immediate concern. "It's more than fear. I can sense your thoughts about my arranged marriage to Governor Thorne's son. You disapprove." Marcus hesitated, then sat on the edge of the medical cot. "It's not my place to judge Corvanian customs." "But you believe in choice, in love." Her hand found his, their touch sending waves of shared sensation between them. "I've never experienced either. My entire life has been predetermined. Diplomatic training, political alliances, strategic breeding partnerships." "What do you want?" Marcus asked, his voice gentle. "I don't know," she admitted, tears glistening in her eyes. "But for the first time, I'm beginning to understand what wanting might feel like." The ship's communication system suddenly crackled to life. "Transport vessel Aurora's Dream. This is Zephyr Control. We show you've made an unscheduled landing. Report your status immediately." Marcus reluctantly broke their connection to respond. "Zephyr Control. This is Captain Vale. We experienced engine failure and made an emergency landing in Sector 7. One passenger requires medical attention for electromagnetic exposure." "Understood, Captain. Governor Thorne has been notified. A rescue team will be dispatched, but the crystal storms in your area will delay arrival by 12 hours minimum." 12 hours alone together. Marcus could feel Serafina's mixed emotions through their newfound connection, anticipation warring with duty, desire fighting against a lifetime of conditioning. "Perhaps," she said after he closed the channel, "this accident happened for a reason. My people believe the universe arranges such coincidences to teach us important lessons." "And what lesson might that be?" Marcus asked, moving closer despite his better judgment. "Maybe that some prices are worth paying." Her luminescent skin began to glow brighter as her Corvanian physiology responded to his proximity. "I can feel your heartbeat, Marcus. Your warmth. In my culture, such awareness only occurs between bonded pairs." Marcus felt his resolve weakening as she reached up to touch his face. "Serafina, your promise to another. This electromagnetic enhancement will fade, and then I'll return to my predetermined life," she finished. "But right now, for the first time ever, I'm free to choose, and I choose you." As their lips met, both felt the electric connection between them intensify, their shared emotions creating a bond that transcended species and circumstance. Morning light filtered through the ship's viewports, casting prismatic rainbows across the crystalline landscape. Marcus woke first, momentarily disoriented by the warm weight of Seraphina curled against him. Her platinum hair spilled across his chest, and her luminescent skin pulsed with a soft, contented glow. The events of the previous night felt like a dream, the way their enhanced connection had allowed them to share not just physical intimacy, but memories, emotions, and thoughts. For the first time since losing his squad, Marcus felt complete. Seraphina stirred, her violet eyes opening slowly to meet his. "No regrets?" she asked softly, her empathic abilities immediately reading his contentment. "None," he assured her, brushing a strand of platinum hair from her face. "Though we should discuss what happens when we reach the capital." Her expression grew serious. In Corvanian law, when two beings share a neural empathic bond, it supersedes all previous arrangements. The electromagnetic exposure created something between us that can't be undone. Marcus felt a weight lift from his shoulders. "And Governor, Thorn's alliance will have to be renegotiated," Seraphina said with newfound determination. "My father won't be pleased, but Corvanian tradition is clear. The heart bond takes precedence over political convenience." They dressed and began final preparations for the journey to the capital. As they worked side by side, Marcus was struck by how naturally they moved together, their enhanced connection allowing them to anticipate each other's needs. The communication system suddenly activated. "Captain Vale, this is Admiral Chen aboard the battle cruiser Indomitable. What's your status?" Marcus recognized his former commanding officer's voice. "Admiral, we're preparing to trek to the capital on foot. Lady Corvus requires specialized medical attention." "Negative, Captain. You'll remain with the ship until pickup. There are reports of crystal storm activity in your area that could prove fatal to unprotected humans." Seraphina moved to the communication panel. "Admiral Chen, this is Lady Seraphina. Corvus, I appreciate your concern, but I'm afraid remaining here isn't an option. My condition requires immediate attention." "Lady Corvus, with respect, Governor Thorn has expressed his willingness to send a specialized medical team once the storms pass. Your betrothal ceremony can proceed as planned." Seraphina's skin flared brighter as her emotions spiked. Marcus felt her anger and determination through their bond. "Admiral, there will be no betrothal ceremony. Captain Vale and I have formed a neural empathic bond. Under Corvanian law, this makes any previous arrangements null and void." The silence that followed was deafening. When Admiral Chen finally spoke, his voice was carefully controlled. "Captain Vale, is this true?" Marcus straightened, his military bearing asserting itself. "Yes, sir. The electromagnetic exposure triggered an unprecedented connection between us. The bond is permanent." "Do you understand the diplomatic implications of this, Captain?" "I understand that sometimes duty to one's heart supersedes duty to politics," Marcus replied firmly. Another voice cut into the transmission, Governor Thorn himself. "This is unacceptable. The alliance between our houses has been negotiated for years. Captain Vale, you will release Lady Corvus from whatever influence you've exerted over her immediately." Seraphina's eyes flashed with violet fire. "Governor Thorn, I am not property to be released. The neural empathic bond was formed through natural circumstances, not coercion. Your son will have to find another bride. This union will not be recognized by the Corvanian High Council." Thorn's voice rose with fury. "It will be," Seraphina said calmly, "because it already exists. Marcus, show them." Without hesitation, Marcus took her hand. The moment their skin touched, both their bodies glowed with synchronized light, his human bioelectric field now permanently attuned to her Corvanian luminescence. "Impossible," Admiral Chen breathed. "Not impossible," Seraphina corrected. "Inevitable." Some connections transcend species, politics, and expectations. Marcus and I will reach the capital together, and we'll face whatever consequences await us together. As they prepared to leave the ship, Marcus marveled at how a simple transport mission had become the beginning of something extraordinary. The spires of Zephyr Prime's capital city rose like crystal needles against the violet sky as Marcus and Seraphina completed their arduous journey. The trek had taken them through ever-changing crystal formations, each one more spectacular than the last. Their neural empathic bond had grown stronger with every step, allowing them to navigate the electromagnetic maze with unprecedented coordination. "The reception committee looks extensive," Marcus observed as they approached the city's landing platforms. Below them, a crowd had gathered. Corvanian officials in flowing robes, Terran Alliance officers in dress uniforms, and what appeared to be Governor Thorne's family delegation. Seraphina's hand found his, their combined bioluminescence creating a soft aurora around them. "Whatever happens, we face it together. The bond can't be broken by politics or disapproval." As they entered the city's main plaza, the crowd parted before them. At the center stood Seraphina's father, Ambassador Corvus, a tall, imposing figure, whose crystalline skin held the deep blue of ancient nobility. His expression was unreadable as he watched his daughter approach. "Father," Seraphina said, offering the traditional Corvanian bow while maintaining her grip on Marcus's hand. Ambassador Corvus studied them both, his keen eyes noting the synchronized glow of their skin. "The reports appear to be accurate. You have indeed formed a neural empathic bond." Governor Thorne stepped forward, his son beside him, a young Corvanian whose silver skin flickered with barely contained anger. "Ambassador, surely this accident can be reversed." "Our families have negotiated." "Governor," Seraphina interrupted, her voice carrying new authority, "the heart bond supersedes all previous arrangements. This is not a political decision, but a biological reality." Ambassador Corvus raised his hand for silence. "There is the matter of the trial of intent. If Captain Vale truly shares my daughter's bond, he must prove himself worthy according to our customs." Marcus felt Seraphina's fear spike through their connection. "Father, the trial is dangerous even for Corvanians. No human has ever—" "I accept," Marcus said firmly, his military training overriding his apprehension. "What does this trial involve?" "3 challenges," the ambassador explained: mental fortitude, physical courage, and spiritual harmony. Each tests your commitment to my daughter and your ability to bridge our 2 worlds. The trials began immediately. In the first challenge, Marcus faced a telepathic maze designed to break weaker minds. But his neural empathic bond with Seraphina guided him through the mental labyrinth, their shared consciousness stronger than any individual will. The physical trial pitted him against Corvanian warriors in combat. While he couldn't match their natural strength, his human adaptability and tactical training allowed him to hold his own until the test was complete. The final trial, spiritual harmony, required Marcus to touch a sacred crystal that would judge his intentions. As he placed his hands on the artifact, his consciousness expanded to encompass not just his bond with Seraphina, but his genuine love for her people and their culture. When the crystal blazed with pure white light, signifying acceptance, the gathered crowd released a collective breath they hadn't realized they'd been holding. "It is decided," Ambassador Corvus announced formally. "The bond between Captain Marcus Vale and my daughter Seraphina is recognized under ancient law. Let none question what the universe itself has ordained." Months later, as Marcus watched Seraphina tend to their hybrid child in their home, overlooking the crystal gardens, he marveled at how stubborn determination, both hers and his, had led them to this moment. "Any regrets about ignoring my warnings?" he asked teasingly as she joined him on their balcony. Serafina smiled, her skin glowing with contentment as she placed their child in his arms. "About the electromagnetic exposure? Never. Sometimes the most painful lessons lead to the greatest joys." Their child, a perfect blend of human resilience and Corvanian luminescence, gurgled happily as both parents' skin synchronized in a gentle, loving glow that would last their lifetimes.